Well, welcome to another video with Inside the Academy, and in this one we're going to add a magic link authentication feature to our FlutterFlow mobile application. So if you are looking to find an alternative way to authenticate your users, then magic links is one option. We're going to do a full walkthrough in this particular video. Hopefully you enjoy it. Let's get cracking. Okay, so let's walk through the order of events. Now, this is making the assumption that your user has already created an account with inside your application. They're going to come back again and they're going to choose to sign in via a magic link. So what they're going to do, they're going to type in their email address there, and then they're going to hit the sign in with the magic link option. I've just got a quick dialog getting them to check their inbox. They'll check their email that will arrive, and of course this template can be customized with inside Supabase. They'll hit the hyperlink option there for saying login, and then magically they will then be authenticated with inside your application. They can carry on doing all the things that they can do with inside your app. So we're going to go through a starter project. We're going to kind of build this up, but you can apply this in exactly the same way inside your own application as well. So let's have a look at the starter project and let's get into it. Okay, so here is the starter project. This is a really basic FlutterFlow application. We've just got a couple of pages here. We've got the sign-in page, which is really just showing you this text field widget with a button that we're going to configure very shortly. We have a home page, of course. This is the authenticator page. This is the page that we redirect our users back to once they are authenticated with their magic link. And of course, we're just going to show the email address and the user ID on screen, which just proves that they're authenticated. Of course, up in the root settings here, we're making sure that we've got requires authentication up there, so we know that's an authenticated page. We now just need to configure this particular project for a Supabase project. So of course, make sure that you do this for your own projects. So let's now quickly hop over to Supabase and grab some of the details that we need. Okay, so here we are then in Supabase. I've hit on the actual project settings option here. Now I've gone up to the API, and here I am. I'm going to need to copy the URL and the key here. So let's just copy that first. Let's move back over to FlutterFlow. Let's go to the cog in FlutterFlow, go down to Supabase, check the kind of enable Supabase, just toggle that on. I'm going to paste the URL in there, and of course just going to flick back here, grab hold of the key, go back to FlutterFlow, and of course I'm just going to paste that in there. I'm going to say get schema. I don't typically need to do this, but of course for this particular sample, because I'm not going to be using any of these particular tables here, but that's kind of means that everything is now set up for me inside the application to now work with Supabase. Let's now move on to the next bit, and let's then focus on some of the functionality for the magic link. Okay, so because FlutterFlow at the time of recording does not support magic links with Supabase, we're going to have to introduce a little bit of low code to kind of help us out here. And we're going to connect that low code using a custom action, which is going to be part of that sign in with magic link. We're going to come back and do that very shortly. On the left-hand side, go to the custom code option here. We're going to create now a custom action. So just choose the add here, choose the action, and now we're going to give our action a name. I'm going to call this one sign in with a magic link, and we're going to ask this to support an argument. We're going to be passing in the email address of the user. So choose add arguments here, type in email address just like that. That's going to be string. It's not going to be nullable because of course we're always going to pass it in, and that is all we need to do. Move up here to this view boilerplate code, select that here, and here is the code that we need to start off with. So say copy it to editor, and there it is. Now we now need to start adding some Supabase specific functionality in this particular function. So just above here, first we're going to import a dependency that we need, or reference to a dependency. Now this has already been part of the package of your FlutterFlow project, so we don't need to add any dependencies down here. It's already available to us. Once we've got that, we can then start utilizing some Supabase specific code within inside this area here. So just below that, let's type in final Supabase equals SupaFlow like that. In fact, it's an uppercase F like that, supabase.flow, and we're going to get access to the client itself. So once we've got this, we can then reference this within inside our actual kind of function that's just below. So just go down here. So this is an asynchronous call, so we're now going to type in a wait here. Now we're going to wait for a response to come back before the custom function kind of completes. So we're going to reference Supabase that we've just kind of created above, and we're now going to do full stop, and we're going to say auth, and then we're going to say sign in with OTP. So just select OTP from the list there like that. Now that is going to require us to set some particular parameters up. So the first thing we're going to do is pass in our email. So just select email there, and we're just going to pass in the email address which is passed in just above, and we're going to do a comma, and then we're going to say should, and then create user. Now what this is really going to do is this is going to allow us to kind of say, well, actually when an email address is passed in for the first time, we don't want it to create an account with inside our application. We're going to assume that our user has already created. So you want to make sure that you say false here, do a comma, and then we're going to do this email redirect to. Now I'm just going to do two single quotes there, and I'm going to put a semicolon at the end, and that pretty well much is all the code that we need to do. Now I'm going to come back to the email redirect to very, very shortly, because there's a very precise setup that we need to add to this particular custom function. But for now, that's all that we need to do. Let's hit the save function at the top here. We just need to hit this option here to compile it. Okay, so now that's just compiled. Let's just to recap really more than anything what we're doing here. So we've got a reference here to the Supabase client that's available kind of internally inside the libraries is available to us within FlutterFlow here. We've got this method called sign in with magic link. We're going to pass in an email address very, very shortly when we call out to this custom action, and we're going to pass this into this particular method that's available to us within inside that Supabase client there called sign in with OTP. We're just passing our email address in. We're making sure that we say should create user is to be false. We don't want any users to be created if they don't already exist. So we're saying false, and then we're going to come back and we're going to sort this out very, very shortly, which is going to kind of be a reference there to the link that we're going to need to then call back to. So when the user hits the login with inside their email, the value of that is going to be passed actually into that kind of that URL of that login link. But we'll come back and we'll configure that shortly, because that's going to be very specific to our FlutterFlow project. So that's pretty much all we need to do. Let's now move on to the next bit. Okay, let's now set up our custom action on our sign in with magic link. So with that selected, move over to here, the actual actions, hit open here, and then choose add action. Now I've got a kind of a form on my page, so I'm going to kind of validate my form to start off with. So just choose a validate form here, choose the actual field itself, hit the plus. Now this is where we now need to add in a call out to our custom action. So just here, choose custom actions, and here is the one that we just created, sign in with magic link. Select that. Now, as you know, this requires an email address, so we just need to now grab the email address from our text field widget. So with the value, just choose a selector here, move to the widget state and choose our email address text field. So any email address that we got in there, we're now going to pass that down to the custom action. So once that custom action has kind of done its sort of its request and it's come back and it's completed, we're then going to kind of show this kind of just quick sort of information kind of dialogue here. So I'm just going to type in dialogue here, just say information dialogue, and I'm just going to just type in check here as the title. Please check your inbox, something like that. Very, very simple. That's all now done. So just hit close, and now we're all configured on this bit here. So let's now move on to the next bit where we're going to briefly talk about deep linking. So then hopefully then all the pieces will come together for us, then move back over to Supabase to configure that side as well. Okay, so then here we are then on the home page of our FlutterFlow application. Now this is the authenticated page. Now what's going to happen is our users are going to get redirected to this particular page once they click on that link, on that magic link from their particular email. There's a couple of bits that's really important to point out. Now up the top right here, you kind of got the root settings, which is the home page. Now chances are this might be different in your particular project. If you need to route your user through to a different place inside your project, then make sure you pick out the right route, because that's going to be really important. So it's called home page here, and of course every page that you create with inside FlutterFlow is going to have a unique name, but we're going to use home page here. You can see here that we've got this check here for requires authentication, so we know that this is an authenticated page. If the user is not authenticated, they're not coming into this particular page. So of course, if they're not authenticated, of course, they'll get redirected somewhere else within inside your application. So if I just go to the settings here, let's move up to authentication. I've got enable authentication set up here for my FlutterFlow project. You can see here is my entry page, and of course, here is the logged in page itself. So of course, what will happen is if they're not authenticated, they get redirected to that page, they're going to land with inside the sign in page itself. Okay, so there's one really, really important point to sort of mention to you here. If I go to the app details and I just scroll down, You can see now that I've kind of got this URL scheme. Now this is kind of like unique to my particular application. So you can see here that this is kind of like a URL scheme that you can put anything you like in here. But generally what will happen is this will be kind of created based on the kind of the naming of your particular project. Now mine's just called Supabase Magic Link here. And this is going to be really important. This is what we're going to set up with inside Supabase very, very shortly. But what will generally happen is that we'll pass this URL scheme in via our custom action. And we're going to set it up so that we're going to have /homepage at the end. So when that is then used with inside Supabase to create that link, then we're going to know where we're going to redirect our users to with inside our application. So that's really, really important. That's the bit that we're going to lift now, and we're going to pass into Supabase as some configuration that we need to do there. So let's head over to Supabase and let's do that now. So here we are then back in Supabase. Let's now configure Supabase now to support those URL schemes that we had on the previous segment here. So just move over to the section here and choose Authentication. Here's the URL configuration, just select that. And here are the redirect URLs. So really this is really just telling Supabase is that if these two URLs that we're going to put in are passed in, then they are safe. We can actually redirect to those particular URLs when we invoke that Supabase Magic Link, that custom action that we created. If they're not in here and they're not set up correctly, then you'll find that redirect will not work. So choose the add URL here. Now we're going to add them in here. So if I just move back over to FlutterFlow, I'm just going to copy this one just here, just do a copy there, move back, just add it in here. So just do it like that. And you can see I've already created, it's got some in my history there. I'm going to put the colon in // I'm just going to paste it in again, and I'm going to choose a .com. Now these were the two that I had here, so you can see I've got .com here. So once that's added, I'm just going to select that here. I'm just going to, in fact, just select the whole lot and just do a copy there. Choose the add. That's the first one in here. Now this is where we need to add in that /homepage one. So choose add URL. I'm just going to paste that in there again, but /homepage like that. In fact, just like that, hit the add URL and they're both now in there. So a couple other little bits we need to check with inside Supabase itself is move over to providers. Make sure here that on the email that we've just got the enable email provider, all of these should all be switched off. That's good. And just one final thing on the email templates. I mentioned it previously, but you can customize the template that gets sent out, the email that gets sent out to the users. You can kind of come here and you can see this is the confirmation URL. This is going to have the kind of the Supabase kind of URL with the scheme URL on there added as well. So once that's all in place, we are good to go. So let's now move over to FlutterFlow and continue the final piece of configuration there. Okay, so on the custom code section on the left hand side, select that, make sure you've got the custom action selected and then the email redirect to. All that we need to do is paste in here kind of the full kind of URL that we're going to be using from the URL scheme here, and that's of course has got the /homepage on the end. So what will happen is that when this particular kind of method is kind of invoked and the kind of the URL is created on Supabase, it's going to kind of have this big full URL. It's going to have kind of like a token on there as well, but it's going to have this redirect which is going to include this here. So what will just naturally happen is that redirect will be called, and then of course because this now matches kind of the URL scheme of our application, then what will happen is our application will be fired up and they'll be routed through to the home page there, which is the authenticated page. So once that's all set up, just make sure we save this here and we then also compile that as well, let that do its thing, and we should be then good to go. And I'll show you how I kind of test this with inside a mobile kind of device. I can't actually show you the physical device, but I'll show you how I build the application so then it can be deployed with inside a mobile device such as an Android device, which makes it super easy, and we can see that then in action. So the best way to test this out is actually running this now on a physical device. You can see here I'm using the FlutterFlow local run feature here. I kind of got my device plugged in via USB cable. So of course I'm now going to be able to take receipt of an email on my mobile device to be able to click on that particular link. And of course that will then sign me in. So this is now just currently building on the screen at the moment. It shouldn't be too long before it's available on my phone and I can quickly then test this particular application out. Okay, so here I am running on my device. I've just tapped in my email address. I'm going to say sign in with Magic Link like that. I'll get that little box that pop up to tell me to check my inbox. Just press OK. I'll just wait for the email to arrive. Okay, so the email's arrived. There it is. I hit the login here. Now that's just going to now instantly load up my application, and you can see now I'm all authenticated and signed in. So everything is working just how I would like it. So there you go. Hopefully you found this particular video useful, and it opens up an extra opportunity for you to authenticate your users in a slightly different way with Supabase. And of course, this is just really probably a stopgap until FlutterFlow kind of get this functionality natively running within inside the actual product itself. So please do subscribe to the channel. Please do like the video. And of course, if you are a member of the Digital Pros Nocode Academy, then thank you very much for being a member. And of course, if you would like to become a member too, please do check the link in the description. It'd be great to have you part of the community. So until the next video, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.